How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your weekly what the heck is going on in the universe horoscope. Let's see, today's Monday, and it's lit, like usual. There's always something crazy going on. However, out of this whole week, there's only a couple big things that are really happening. The rest of the week is actually pretty relaxed, pretty chill for the most part, which has been nice because these past couple weeks have been really insane. So this is good. However, this is a really big week as far as what little shifts are happening. On Monday, we have Mercury and Uranus at 25 degrees today. And as Mercury and Uranus are at 25 degrees after all of this Mercury retrograde stuff and after everything that we've been through with all these retrogrades and everything like that. Oh, my hair's getting a little crazy. As Mercury stations over Uranus, this is the time to, after all that we've experienced with this Mercury retrograde, going over, what are our ideas? What do we want to create? What are we envisioning for ourselves? What fuels our fire, going back to the Venus retrograde type stuff. And as it stations on top, or not stations on top of Uranus, however, as it gets on top of Uranus and then starts separating later on this week, this is that using this Uranus energy of that independence, that freedom, that spontaneity, that inner electricity. Like, I have Uranus in the first house, and so I always tell people, Uranus is that, what gets you fucking excited, man? Like, what gets you pumped? What gets you just thrilled? And especially with this in Aries, it's all about being you. That's why since 2000, what is it? It's either 2008, 10, or 11. I can't remember what year Uranus went into Aries. However, one of those years, it's since then, people have been a lot more focused on them, and it's been a lot personal development's been a bigger thing, and people, with makeup products have been blasting off like crazy because people want to pay attention more to them. Anything where people, or yourself I should say, when you get to focus on yourself and you get to put that power in there, when you get to give yourself freedom and liberty, this is all that Uranus stuff. And as Mercury goes on top of it, it's time to bring that into your mindset, into what you're telling yourself every single day. Mercury might rule communication and intellect and all these little mundane things. However, it's your internal dialogue, and that's the most important thing, because you're talking to yourself day in and day out, and the more and more you talk to yourself, the more and more you're going to develop beliefs about yourself and beliefs about the world, and you want to make sure that those are strong, and you want to make sure that those are healthy and that they are good for you. So with this Mercury on top of Uranus, and as it moves over, get clear about what's going on for you. Get clear what makes you, and get excited about it. Move forward with this healthy mindset. We did this Mercury retrograde thing. Some things didn't work out. Some things kind of got switched around. However, a lot of things actually got switched around, I should say. However, now that we're moving forward, now enwrap yourself into the present. Put yourself in the now. And that's what's going to be leading you to, the best possible scenario for you, I should say. Monday too, we have Moon oppose Mercury and Uranus as it's in Libra and as it's conjuncting Jupiter. I have a Moon in Libra, so I've been feeling great lately. However, with this Moon in Libra conjuncting Jupiter, this is bringing that emotional emphasis to people. This is bringing that emotional emphasis to your relationship with yourself, with other people, and finding the balance and everything, and just truly enjoying the moment. And as it separates and it's still opposing Mercury and Uranus, don't get caught up in what, other people are saying, or, what you think is right, what you think you got to do, or, what looks better on paper, or, what makes you look better to the outside world. It's not about that. It's about what makes you stronger with yourself. And as this Moon is in Libra, it's going to feel like some tension, especially with the Mercury and Aries thing. However, it goes back to you. You can't let yourself dictate who you are based on other people's responses and reactions to things. So with today being Monday, with the Moon in Libra and everything, just really focus on how you can be more of yourself and be more authentic, while also being able to still, have all the relationships that you want without them, because then, they don't really care. They want you to be yourself. People always want you to be yourself. That's why actors and entertainers get paid millions of dollars, because they are literally themselves, and that's it. Moon will also be sextiling Saturn, so this is going back to that karmic energy of what are we learning with Saturn in Sagittarius? What are we going through with this retrograde? All that kind of stuff of what are we limiting ourselves with? What are we moving forward with? And as it retrogrades, now that's at 26 degrees and it's finally starting to make some movement backwards, it's starting to kind of okay, how have I propelled myself? What's the relationship with myself now? And what's my relationship based on myself with other people? Venus is also opposing Jupiter. This is going to be happening for a while, and as Venus went through all of its bullshit, it's still got more work to do. I've been saying that for a while now, And as Venus opposed Jupiter, it's about going back to what I was saying earlier about, other people and what you think they need from you, and what you think, would look better on paper. What would society like better? And with this Venus in Aries, it's not about that. It's about using what fuels your fire, what drives you as an individual from a subjective point of view, and how that shows up in your life. Because what your relationship with yourself is how your relationship with your friends, your family, your coworkers, all that stuff is just a reflection of that. So with this Venus in Aries, it's opposing Jupiter. It's going to feel like, everything I want to do just doesn't bring any good luck to me. It doesn't bring any, positivity. However, you got to get more clear and more, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to have that positive mindset about being driven about what you want to get done. With Venus in Aries, it's all about what fuels your fire, what gets you, with Uranus in Aries, it's all about what gets you excited, and how do you want to break free from things and just just freak out and explode. However, with Venus here now, it's about what really turns you on, what gets you going, what makes you feel passionate, what makes you create love, what all that kind of stuff. So as opposed to Jupiter, don't worry about how other people see things, or what society thinks. It's all about you. And on Tuesday, Tuesday isn't really that big. It's gonna tee us up for Wednesday though, because even though the North Node technically shifts on Tuesday, it's gonna be more of a bigger deal on Wednesday. And so on Tuesday, the moon's going to be in Scorpio. It's going to be trining Neptune, which is going to be quincunxing Venus. The moon in Scorpio will be quincunxing Venus. However, moon in Scorpio starting to set us up for this full moon that we're going to experience. I'm really excited for it. We need this intense transformational energy. It's kind of like, it's kind of like we went through all this stuff, and it's like we're still not there yet. We're still not 100% ready to move forward and to transform and to express all these feelings and to purge them out and to start over fresh. And that's what this full moon's really going to be about. However, on Tuesday, that's going to be setting us up. It's going to be quincunxing Venus too, and it's going to be trining Neptune. So with this trining Neptune, this is going back to what are dreams, what are we fantasizing about, what's real, what's not. It's with this moon in Scorpio trining Neptune, it's starting to okay, we need to really separate what our beliefs are, what's really going on, and what we're really focused on. With this Neptune and Pisces, it's kind of like, we could just be dreaming and not doing anything and all that kind of shit. However, with it trining Neptune now, or with the moon trining Neptune now, it's like moon and Scorpio don't give a shit. Moon and Scorpio is like, hey, that's not right. That's not the direction we're going. This is the direction we're going. And you're going to get pumped up. You're going to get that fire field, and it's going to be quincunxing Venus. This is going back to relationships. This is going back to your personal desires and wants and needs and all that kind of stuff. And then Wednesday, this is the biggest day. We got the full moon in Scorpio and the North Node going to 29 degrees Leo. And this is where you're going to feel a weird type of shift. With this North Node in Virgo, it's been about, okay, out of everything that you've experienced in the past year and a half, basically 18 months, with the moon in Virgo, or North Node in Virgo, it's been about, I need to get clearer about what direction I'm going. I need to start, becoming more healthy. I need to focus on the details. I need to get my life organized. I need to work from the ground up and build something. I need to be more clear about my direction and all that kind of good stuff. However, as it shifts into 29 degrees Leo, it's about stepping into your true personal power. And this next year and a half is going to be, in my opinion, one of the craziest the craziest year ever as we get up ready for, what else is going on for the next couple years. However, with this North Node in Leo, this is about true self-empowerment. This is about you stepping up to the plate and you being the Leo and stepping onto the stage that's your life and fucking owning it. This is about you knowing your worth. This is about you giving more to people. This is about you feeling the passion and the love inside of your body and being able to express it and going, at the end of the day, I need to focus on what is better for me and what's more empowering for me. With this North Node in Virgo, it was like, what's better for me? What's more correct? How can I get more stable? How can I get more organized? How can I get more disciplined? Now with it in Leo, it's time to just own up to the power that you have inside of you. It's time to go, no, I need to put me first. I need to put what I know is right first. And Leo, if you want to compare it to the four horsemen of the apocalypse, it's the white horse. And this is bringing all that truth and all that light and all that sense of love and the sense of giving and the sense of leadership into you. And so with this next year and a half, it's time to stop we've gotten organized, we've gotten clear on that picture of where we need to be going as far as the details. Now it's time to start wearing the energy of owning up to that power, and I'm fucking excited for it. This is gonna affect a big part of your chart, wherever Leo is in your chart. However, then on Wednesday after that, or I shouldn't say after, during the same time, full moon in Scorpio, that's going to be sextiling Pluto, and then Pluto will be sextiling Neptune, and the moon will be trining, so we'll have a nice little triangle, little shape going on right there. And this full moon in Scorpio, with the sun in Taurus, it's kind of like, yeah, things are like, moving along slowly but surely, but with this moon in Scorpio, it's like, well, fuck, I need to move things faster. I want to feel things more intensely. I want to just purge it all out. Like Scorpio's kind of like Scorpio's the type of energy you go like, hey, like, what's wrong, what's really going on, and they're just like, they just lay it all on the table and just spill their guts out on the floor and everything like that. And that's what this full moon in Scorpio is going to be about. There's going to be a lot of intense feelings. There's going to be big issues going on, and the biggest thing is you got to contain this energy and channel it in the right way. You got to be able to use all these emotions, use all these passionate, crazy, transformative feelings, and use it to your advantage. With the sun in Taurus, it's kind of like, things are slow. I'm feeling grounded though, I'm feeling good. It's like, this is that kickstart. With the North Node in Leo, you're gonna be like, whoa, I feel that. And then with this full moon in Scorpio, it's like, okay, what are these feelings? What do I need to go through to expose them? And as it's trining Neptune, this is going back to, what are your dreams? What are you envisioning? What's real and what's not? What are you separating? And as it's sextiling Pluto, and as Pluto sextiling Neptune, we're changing the way that we look at things. This is putting a bigger emphasis on, how am I using my, the dream that I want to envision? How can I make that concrete? How can I make that real? And if you can't, you can't. With Pluto going to be there, sometimes you're just going to have to change what exactly it is you want to build your vision on. And and especially with Mercury over Uranus, and as it kind of moves, you might have to switch your idea a little bit. But it's about the desire, and that's the most important thing. I just saw a post before I did this, and I thought it was so funny. It's like, your dreams never have an expiration date, which is so funny because they really don't. It's about how much do you desire it, and how much you desire it is how fast that will come to you. And this whole moon in Scorpio is about how much you desire it. And so as it moves forward, Saturn will stop squaring Venus on Wednesday too. Thank God. Venus squaring Saturn is like, a lot of astrologers talk about it's like the worst type of energy to really be going through or to like have in your chart, and it really is. It's kind of like, nothing's really fun, nothing's really enjoyable, everything just kind of sucks. That's the kind of vibe, because it's like Saturn, he's like, well, I don't want you to have fun, and Venus is like, well, all I want to do is have fun, all I want to do is experience and feel and love and give and all that kind of stuff. And as it stops squaring Saturn, it's gonna feel like whatever you've limited yourself with as far as what you've been able to feel, what you've been able to experience, it's time to take off the safety, the training wheels, and start moving forward. Especially after all this Venus retrograde energy, it's time to move forward with what it is that you want to feel, and not let yourself be limited by your own beliefs and be limited by your own karma or your past or anything like that. It's time to move forward. Saturn will be trining, Saturn's still trining Mercury and Uranus. Mars still trining Jupiter. Mars is also squaring Neptune still, so it's still a little bit hard to take action on everything that you want to. However, on Wednesday too, the sun will be at the third decan of Taurus as it moves into 20 degrees. This is putting that, I always look at the decans as like the baby, the middle adult, and the old age person. And now we're going to the last degrees of Taurus, which is about, what kind of resources do you have? What kind of stability do you have? What are your values? What do you value? What do you want to create? What keeps yourself grounded in who you are, and not let the outside world affect you? A Taurus is, man, I swear to God, anything can happen to a Taurus, and they're like, I'm gonna get over it. It's all good. It's all good. They crack me up. And as it moves forward, or not as it moves forward, as the sun hits this 20 degrees, it's like this kind of this maturing stage in the astrology, in what we're experiencing right now. And it's really good stuff. All you got to really focus on is, let's finalize and crystallize this Taurus energy and use it to our advantage. So when we get into Gemini energy, it's a lot easier. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, there's not a lot going on. And that's why I'm focusing so much on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because this is going to tee us up for not only the rest of the week, however, more into May too, because now with the North Node and Leo, shit's fucking changing. Thursday, Mercury separates from Uranus completely. The moon will enter Sag, and it'll start trining Venus. This is putting that, okay, after this full moon, experience that everyone's gonna intensely feel. It's like, okay, now where can we go with this? What direction can we head into? So Sagittarius takes all the Scorpio energy and goes, what do we do with this? Where do we point it? Where does it need to go? I'll take it there. And with this moon in Sag, as it's trining Venus, it's also about relationships. So like, definitely if you're single, you're going to be wanting to move forward with things. You're going to be wanting to take advantage of what you have, as far as what you have. You want to be able to take advantage of it and move forward with it, whatever it is that you have. I'm not the one to answer that. However, Mercury will be separating from Uranus, so it won't be as intense. You'll start to be thinking clearer. Moon and Sag will be trining Venus, moving forward with things. Where can we take this new emotional mindset? Where can we channel all this energy into a healthy way? Friday, the moon will then oppose Mars and square Neptune. So with this moon opposed Mars, it's going to be, don't overthink of where you're going. It's not about the journey, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. The journey is the destination. That's the whole thing about Sagittarius. They like, the Sagittarius energy always feels like it's got to do something. It's got to go somewhere. It's got to complete something. It's like, that's why they're always going so fast. That's why they're always, a million miles an hour. However, the whole thing with Sagittarius, it's about the journey is the destination. And so on Friday, as it opposes Mars, don't overthink where you got to be going. Like I've been saying with this Mars and Gemini, it's about doing one thing at a time. It's about pacing yourself and staying focused at least on one thing. You can be focused on 1,000 different things. As long as you're focused on one thing though, and you're working on it and you're putting energy towards it, it's going to work out for you. So with this moon and Sag, don't overthink things. If like in a baseball analogy, I guess, like if you're up to bat, keep this one inside the park. Don't throw a home run. I know that's like it's super counterintuitive. However, keep it inside the ballpark, keep it realistic, keep it ideal. And as it squares Neptune too, it's not about looking at the logical side of how can I manifest my dreams, what am I envisioning. It's not about the logical side. It's about the passionate and the emotions behind it. So focus on that. Saturday, the moon will be conjuncting Saturn, and it will be trining Mercury and Uranus. This is going into more of that beneficial Saturn and Sagittarius energy now that it's retrograde, about moving forward with things, going back to your idea of things and pushing all that energy. And then on Sunday, Pluto squares Venus, Moon squares Venus, Mars sextiles Venus. So Sunday is what's going to tee us up for an interesting week next week, because as Pluto squares Venus, this is about, okay, what are we going to be doing different now? And with the moon square Venus, it's like, oh God, like you're going to have to be forced to look at it. But then the Mars will sextile Venus, so it's like time to move forward with everything that I've been talking about with this Venus energy. So I'm going to leave you guys off with that, because it's really just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as the North Node moves into Leo, this full moon. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to calm down. Things are going to be a little bit more different afterwards, and then next week is when we get into a whole bunch of other things. However, thank you guys so much for watching all my videos. I love you all. I'm always sending you guys love, abundance, white light. I talk about all you guys that watch my videos all the time, even though I don't know you. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube, I super appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, on Instagram at whitelightcam. If you want to check out my music, you can go to my SoundCloud at whitelightcam. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for your awakening daily horoscope.